Hello everyone, my name is Suman Dua and I'm a registered migration agent at Nationwide Migration and Education. We make videos every week in regards to Australian migration, and if you are interested in this topic, you may wish to subscribe to our channel. Now today's video will discuss Migration Queensland's 491 nomination criteria for small business owners operating in Queensland. To be eligible, you must meet the Australian Department of Home Affairs and Migration Queensland criteria for this stream. The Home Affairs criteria requires you to have a points test result of 65 or higher, inclusive of state nomination points, have a positive skills assessment in your nominated occupation, be under 45 years of age, meet the minimum English language requirement of competent unless a higher level is required by your assessing authority. Now let's look at the nomination criteria for a 491 small business owner stream. Now this pathway is for migrants who are currently living and operating a small business in regional Queensland. You must have an occupation on the Home Affairs legislative instrument and a positive skills assessment in an occupation on this instrument. You must also have full-time work rights and not currently be studying. The small business owner stream has two separate pathways available. Applicants need to meet the criteria for Pathway 1 or Pathway 2. For Pathway 1, to be eligible for this pathway, you must purchase an existing registered business for a minimum of 100,000 Australian dollars and employ at least one Australian resident. The business must be a pre-existing business which has been purchased and trading for a minimum of 6 months prior to lodging an expression of interest. To be eligible for Pathway 2, you must have started a business and have continuously run that business for a minimum of 2 years. The business must generate a profit and have a turnover of 200,000 in the 12 months before application. Now let's look at the requirements for Pathway 1 and Pathway 2 applicants. You must have an occupation on the relevant legislative instrument. You must provide evidence that you're living in regional Queensland. The applicant must be working for the business full-time, minimum of 30 hours per week. You must provide evidence that you hold 100% ownership of the business. Partnerships or joint ventures are not eligible. You must own and operate a business in regional Queensland. Now there are some additional requirements for Pathway 1, which is when you purchase an existing business. Business purchased must have been operating for a minimum of 2 years in its current location immediately prior to purchase. You must provide evidence that you have purchased a business for a minimum of 100,000 Australian dollars. You must provide evidence that you have been operating the business for a minimum of 6 months after settlement. Now please note that the 6 months of operation does not start until 100% of the business purchase price is settled. You must provide evidence of employment of at least one Australian resident working a minimum of 20 hours per week or 2 employees working 10 hours per week. Employees cannot be a family member or a subcontractor. Now there are also some additional requirements for Pathway 2, which is the startup business. You must provide evidence that you have been operating a profitable startup for a minimum of 2 years with a turnover of 200,000 in the 12 months prior to application. Now Migration Queensland has also provided some important notes for the SBO 491 nomination applications. So they will not allow share transfer. You must have a contract of business sale. They will not allow vendor financing, and you cannot purchase business from family member or relative. You cannot relocate or sell business before receiving approval from MQ prior to visa grant, cannot purchase a business previously owned by a 491 SBO applicant. Home-based or virtual offices are not eligible for the 491 SBO pathway. Commission agents or leasing agents of franchises such as petrol stations will not be considered. Applicants must operate their business for at least 3 years in a regional area and may be subject to monitoring after the grant of the visa. Should an applicant choose to sell the business prior to this time, Migration Queensland has the option to withdraw the nomination of the 491 visa to allow the applicant to explore other visa options. If you are considering a 491 visa under the small business owner pathway, you may wish to seek our professional help. We will be holding a free webinar to explain the Migration Queensland's criteria in detail. Please visit our Facebook page to register. If you have any questions regarding your visa options, please book a consultation through the link in the description below. If you have any questions in regards to Australian migration, please get in touch with us. You can visit our website nationwidemigration.com.au and book a consultation online. If you would like to stay updated about Australian migration, please subscribe to our channel.